Hi everybody, welcome to the dungeon. This is Flameworking 101.6, and in this video we are going to make a small, elegant little bead that is a nice, interesting pattern. It will be comprised of just dots, and it's 4 dots on one side and 4 dots on the other, so it should be fairly easy. I hope you enjoy this, and we will see you afterwards. Okay, so on this specific bead, I'm going to start with a black background. And the reason why this is it's just a personal reason. It's just that I'm going to put some white dots on it and then some transparent colors on it. And you really won't see much of the black at the end of this anyways, and you'll see why. So I'm building up, a small bead, because every time I add glass to it, it's just going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. And I decide that, well, this isn't quite big enough, so I'm going to add a little bit more black, which is fine. Just don't make that initial, wheel or disc or however you build up your bead too big, or it could flop over or something like that. And here is how we're going to do our pattern. It's 4 dots on one side, and start with the first dot on the bottom half hemisphere and then move to the opposite side and then go in between those. And then the other side should be easier to place because you're just putting them in the center of where the other dots were placed down. And this is how it should end up looking. All your dots should be about the same. Make these dots slightly larger, and you will see how beautiful just 2 colors can make into this pattern. It's just awesome here. And that's why I decided to do a little slow-mo, because this part of the video actually goes by faster than I wanted it to, and I wanted you to be able to see everything that you could do just from the beginning of this bead, like right here and onwards. There's so much you could do with this pattern, and just in its simplicity right here, it's beautiful. So I decide I'm going to add some bubbles. So let's add some bubbles and just very gently heat up each area that you want the bubble to be, and just gently push in. It's going to be a little hotter than you think, because when you push in, it should be soft, but almost like pushing in taffy. If it's not soft enough, you're going to have a hard time reclaiming the heat from that. So you don't want to waste any time making this bead. And what I did right there was I just pinched off with my tweezers the very end of the rod, because the bubbles usually form at the end of a broken rod, and I wanted the color to be what should I say, without bubbles, especially that first time you lay it down. That's where all the bubbles are. And I'm just going to add dots. Now, depending on how large your color dots are here, you're going to end up with a completely different look. So think about that, okay? It always looks different depending on how big the dots are here. And you could add these on before you melt the whole pattern in, like on top of the white dots too, and that'll look different. And so what I have is kind of a softer color explosion happening in these quadrants that we've made. And I'm going to further enhance the look of this bead by adding some smaller little dots from a stringer. You don't have to do this, but this is kind of I guess this would be close to a bead that I used to make called the circus beads. And I'm going to add just a little bit of white on the tips of those. So if you feel up to it, you can play around with your tiny dot placement. And remember, you're just using the very edge of that flame when you heat up the stringer, because it immediately gets hot. So you want to be fast and quick using those stringers. Quick and nimble. And there we have it. Looks great. Let's let it cool down and we'll see the real colors. All right, well, we're back, and I apologize for the lighting in here. At some point, I will figure a better system out. So let's see what we have in here. Yes, that looks really good. All right. We'll take it upstairs and see how it turned out. So I clean my bead out with a diamond drill bit, and always be sure that the bead is in the water and the tool that you're using is electric, so you want to keep it out of the water. And there we have it.